Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LTA Finals. We are already into the draft, here for game number 3. Let's go ahead and catch up to where we are with Rumble, Talia, and Cassiopeia banned out by 100 Thieves, who are once again on the blue side. Team Liquid banning out the Yeon, the Vi, and the Jace. First pick Pantheon for 100 Thieves, responded with a Zhao and Kaisa by TL. Xayah and Rakan locked in for 100 Thieves. We're going through it fast, and we got Bwipo back here to break down the last one and talk about this one.
So the last draft obviously looked really good until the Seekers came out, like Azael mentioned to me just now. Managed to claw back the game from what looked to be a pretty tough game. Now in this one, they opted into the Pantheon flex and gets a response with Kaisa. I think taking away the Kaisa from FBI makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're just taking him off of a comfort pick, and the Xayah Rakan makes even more sense, I think, as a reply. I mean, Xayah Rakan has always been considered really strong into the short-range carries because the huge threat of Rakan is when he gets to press the quickness and then press E on Xayah, whoever is in Xayah's auto-attack range will probably die.
Yeah, and I mean, we already saw, obviously, Ezreal was played earlier, so it's like there's the two safe AD carries that everyone looks towards, right? It's Xayah, it's Ezreal. Xayah is going to be up and available. Now, from this point, we're obviously assuming it is going to be Pantheon jungle, like 99% chance. I know there has been a couple plays of it in mid and top, but where do you want to see 100 Thieves go from here? I
think it's a very straightforward front-to-back team comp with a champion that has a tool to kind of force a fight or force a start on the fight onto the Zhao that isn't Rakan. Because I think if Rakan can hold the quickness for after Zhao's ultimate is used, he can actually be a very good target to go on, because Rakan's biggest strength, outside of the fact that he gets the one-shot whoever with Xayah, is he gets to go in and out very quickly. So when he can kind of go into the use his quickness to go into the Zhao's ultimate, he can still pull out, so he can kind of force Zhao to stay in the fight without committing to it, which means Zhao's ultimate loses a lot of value, because if Xayah can actually walk in and kind of burst the Zhao, he'll kind of just pop.
So do we think that this is showing that you might be wanting to play Rumble top for TL, because they ban out the Galio as a potential counter? Now my curiosity is, does 100 Thieves actually say, okay, we know you might be going towards Rumble, we're going to ban it?
No, I agree with you 100%. Unfortunately, what you missed is that 100 Thieves was locked banning Rumble on blue side this series.
No,
100%.
Spaced out on
it's something that I think that one of the reasons why they're choosing blue side every game is so they have that extra ban and keep slamming it on the Rumble, so they don't have to worry about it at all. But I think the Galio ban is just simply, Galio Rise Out just means he wants to play something like a control mage, something scaling that works with Zhao, and then they go for a last pick top lane to make sure the game is stable. I actually think they're going to prioritize trying to get Jax here, maybe, as a lot of teams, when they have Kaisa versus Xayah or these kind of matchups, they like the lane swap and put those short range carries into a comfortable position, which is exactly what they decided to do, huh? Look at that.
It's almost like he plays this game or something.
It's almost like this dude spends a lot of time thinking about and playing League of Legends.
You should play League of Legends for a job.
As the Jax.
I lost it today, but yesterday I was still kicking. You got me, you got me.
Oh man, how did you feel? Because you brought out the Garen in this exact matchup. So how do you actually feel about that specific matchup as we saw it hovered? So they're hovering actually a lot of your specials.
Yes, I know. It's the champions that I like to play, and the Jax is one of the reasons why I don't like banning him, because I feel very confident in these matchups. I like Garen a lot, specifically in the lane swap meta. I wouldn't use Garen as often into Jax if it wasn't a lane swap meta, but his W gives upfront 75% tenacity and 30% damage reduction with a little shield, so he's really good at stopping people from tower diving him, which is why I like Garen as an answer.
So we do have the Ornn and the Viktor coming through. You were talking about getting an engage tool, 400 Thieves. That's obviously the Ornn. The Azael was banned out earlier in the series, left up here. APA does go towards it. So how do you feel about how both teams have rounded out the draft?
I think 100% the most important part about this team composition will be how much freedom the Pantheon will have to play on the side lanes. I think that Aurelion Sol is a huge target for Viktor, Pantheon, and Rakan, because Viktor's ultimate actually interrupts channels. So when you drop the Chaos Storm, it will not silence you, but it will interrupt you if you are channeling your, for example, Aurelion Sol's W. So with that reasoning, I think the side lane will be where 100 Thieves has the most comfortable position, because I think an all-out full frontal team fight with Aurelion Sol's mega ultimate coming down will be really hard for 100 Thieves to navigate.
All right, as the draft wraps up, I'm going to hit you with the same question I hit you with last time. Who won this draft?
Who won this draft? Honestly, I think both drafts are pretty 50-50. I think ultimately gameplay will determine how this game goes, as I see both teams having a very well-solid, rounded drafts. Nothing special or crazy going on. I don't think any team has a particular lead in the lane swap. However, I do think TL is the better team fighting team, and ultimately, I don't know if 100 Thieves will be able to find those side lane plays like they want to. That's how they lost last game.
It's so interesting to me because TL told me the 100 Thieves is the best team fighting team in the league.
There you go.
Well, we're about to find the answers out here for ourselves. Thank you very much, Whippo, once again.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your insights into the game, into the draft. If 100 Thieves can pull it off, we'll be happy to have you back here for more as we go forward. But Team Liquid would love to not worry about that anymore. A 3-0 here would be quite a statement from them, and they're only a single game away from making it happen.
Yep. And while Azael, maybe not the biggest surprise because it's APA, it is only the second pick of it in any major region so far this year. Ooh. And if you're talking about all regions, there's only been 2 picks of it. So it is not getting played at all. Yes, obviously they must have suspected from scrims and whatnot that he could be bringing it out, especially as we're getting further on into Fearless. But I'm going to be excited to see how APA is going to perform on this pick. Haven't been seeing much of it. It is phase rush for Quid on the Viktor, which is interesting. Feels like definitely a response to the potential, ganks from something like the Zhao and the Azael, which are really just relying on slows, not CC. So feeling like you can kind of just dip and dodge in and out of those fights pretty heavily.
I mean, the only way Aurelion Sol is going to hard CC you is if he hits you on the head with the meteor. Yeah. Singularity having the slow, audacious charge like you're talking about, also just applying that instantly, needing a little bit of extra time to hit with that third Talon strike to guarantee the hard stuff. As it looks like we're going to not see a whole lot of crazy stuff here at level 1. 100 Thieves taking some defensive positioning, wanting to make sure they don't have any crazy level 1s. And yesterday we spoke to Spawn about being here to coach TL in person.
So I would like to know what do you think about coaching remotely versus coaching in person?
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, coaches wouldn't be remote, right? So I think that honestly, it kind of sucks to coach remotely, but I feel like I can still have really positive impact on the team, which is why I do it. In Australia, I've got 2 beautiful boys, a loving partner, so I like to be home and to be able to spend some time with them. And now that it's business time, I jump on a plane, come over and try and win a tournament.
Well, thank you to Spawn, and thank you to Dude for doing the interview, showing up. Spawn, since they have arrived, it's the Spawn buff, man. It's just the Spawn diff.
80% win rate's a pretty damn good win rate, man.
That's pretty good. And they were a team that people were not expecting a tremendous amount of in the top 4 because they were the only team to drop a game against Isra's Draw. They're actually, arguably could have even lost that series, some people felt. And, they struggled a little bit more than we have seen last year, just even up north in the LTA regular split. But TL coming in, looking really strong. And we do have these standard lanes. Definitely a question for me is how Impact will perform on the Jax. This is a pick that I have been critical of him on because I just feel like he plays too unselfishly, right? This is a pick that needs to be able to dominate through side lane. You need to play for yourself. You can't overgroup because if you end up overgrouping and you don't pick up tons of kills, you're just not strong enough to really have any impact in the game. So sometimes it's one of those things where you need to tell your team, you know what, you need to back off even if Sniper's roaming because I need to farm these plates. I need to get ahead so I actually have that pressure in a side lane.
Wow, flash coming out from Umti very early on here to get the pressure on in the mid lane. Flash for the audacious charge instantly on Quid, guarantees that Quid's going to have to use his own flash in retaliation. And it's the general rule of League of Legends, if I'm the jungler and you're the mid laner, I'm happy to trade my flash for yours.
Yep, exactly. Nice hook though down on bot side.
Yeah, CoreJJ ready to keep the action going down here, but FBI and Eyla easily able to just kind of disengage that one. No summoner spells required.
Yeah, and so I'm just going to be interested to see how Impact plays as we get later into the game. Of course, it's not a lane swap, so the economy for the top laner is going to be A-okay. I just want to see him playing for himself. I think he can pilot the champion really well in the team fights and whatnot, but
wow.
Oh,
some trouble there for Sniper. Takes a drink out of the potion. That's going to guarantee he doesn't die. CoreJJ also taken low down here in the bottom lane, and there is no potions left to sip from for this Nautilus. So that'll be the first recall down here in the bottom lane for the support.
That was a little bit strange. So FBI wasn't level 3, but everyone else was, including his support. So he missed experience on a minion somewhere. Had he been level 3, that's maybe the flash forced off of core, or maybe even more. So I'm very curious to see where he actually missed that. I go back and watch this game later.
We'll see. Maybe later on, maybe we'll be able to find that out. But yeah, you can even see on those EXP bars off to the side, just ever so slightly behind.
Just missed the one minion.
Might have been just slightly out of range. Thought he was close enough, but didn't get it. But either way, CoreJJ staying alive on that one. Did spin the Ignite down there in the bottom side. That is the only summoner spell spent so far in this early game, besides that flash mid-game from Quid and Umti's flash to force that one, as River has Eyla walking by him here as he just continues farming up his own chicken camp. Impact maintaining maintaining control over this top lane 1v1 with the Jax. Wants to make sure he's got that continued tempo like you've been talking about. Because we know that no matter what, Ornn will become a brick wall.
Yeah, exactly. And Ornn just always has value, right? So for Ornn, it's fine to drop waves and group and just be able to, provide that utility for your team, because so much of your utility is really not about even how tanky you are. It's just about the CC that you're actually bringing to be able to start the fights and, set up your teammates for success in that way. Where Jax really has to get super strong, be able to get into the backline and win these fights and put pressure on the AD carry, put pressure on the enemy mid laner without just flopping right after that.
And Impact will just continue keeping that pressure on here as you're seeing some pings from the 100 Thieves side up towards the top side of the river. Early grub attempts are the name of the game for so many teams these days, wanting to be there when they spawn, wanting to be there at the 6-minute mark. But of course for 100 Thieves, it does become a little bit more complicated when Sniper has no presence in the lane, when he's very low on mana, when he's low on health. Of course, both top laners still with their teleports ready to go. It's an easy reset.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Impact obviously doing great in this early laning phase, and will be covered here by Umti. So no chance of getting ganked. They're going to be able to clean up, just go back to base. The tier was built up early in lane from Sniper though, so he's going to be stacking that up pretty well.
Ooh, Yeon stepping forward there. Nice use of the supercharger to get away from the grand entrance. Still ends up taking some damage in the trade, but does not suffer the knockup.
Yeah, you can see APA, partially because he got that early little gank and Quid had to be a bit more careful, has a much better buy. He was able to farm very effectively, get the lost chapter before he came back to base, and that's always kind of that premium buy that you want. And we'll see Impact can probably get a pretty good chunk on Sniper here. He already had the passive stacked and the grasp charge ready.
Meanwhile, back down in bottom lane, FBI and Eyla still keeping the scrap going. CoreJJ again down to below 100 HP. He flashes late and FBI cashes in. Nicely done from 100 Thieves.
That's such a big confidence boost for 100 Thieves as well. The bot lane has been on the losing side of a lot of these trades. We're going to have another scrap here over with Umti.
Yeah, Umti versus River, but APA is coming in first to help out his jungler. Meanwhile, topside, that 1v1 is breaking out. Umti down to 150 HP, and River should be able to finish him off with one more shot of the spear. Jumps back in, and River's got another one for his side. It's 2-0 100 Thieves in the first 6 minutes.
And they're going to have prio around the grubs, and FBI's not done.
FBI chasing after Yeon, but he does not have the resources to really get anything more from that chase. Sniper versus Impact, the trading looking much more even at the same time up here in top lane too. Early game looking good for 100.
It's really looking good. And I mean, I just think it's so important to get FBI going. Yeon and Core have been immense for TL. They have been so good. And you can't allow Yeon to just always be running this series. FBI and Eyla have been incredible for 100 Thieves, and all of their success really has been, I think, such a step up for their team. Eyla individually just playing so well this split, I feel like. One of the best supports in the league easily. And FBI really showing his value as a super consistent carry, has brought that extra threat. So getting him ahead early here, getting that first blood on him, is going to be so important to their success in the 5v5s.
I mean, it's what we saw last game when Team Liquid was able to come back, like looking at just the effect that Yeon and Core had on the game, looking at the KDAs like we did. I even got the math wrong, and they were still OP in that game for how much they were contributing, how much they were affecting, and how much they were carrying the fights. And we know that FBI and Eyla can do the same type of thing. FBI just being this absolute foundational element to good team fighting, good play, the ability to guarantee that your AD carry is going to be relevant whatever the state of the game.
And I mean, I feel like FBI, he's not as flashy as some of the other guys who have been considered the best ADs in the league, but one of the things that he is incredibly consistent. And when you think about what do I want from an AD carry, generally the things that people are going to talk about, you want them to have really good positioning and get a lot of damage. Those are kind of like the two things, right? Because you can't afford to die, but you still need to be able to be pumping out the damage. You can't just sit in the back and do nothing. And FBI always does exactly that. Like, he's always in a good spot. He's always positioning well. He's getting out the maximum amount of damage that he possibly can. And he's very, very consistent with that. I think maybe some of the arguments are that he doesn't have as big of a kind of like a flashy outplay type thing as maybe a Yeon, but I think he's super strong.
2v2 here on the bot side as Yeon and CoreJJ want to keep Sniper and River away from the tier 1 turret as multiple waves are crashing into it. Umti's ready to back up his squad to make sure that they don't get collapsed on by 100 Thieves first. Flashing in for the 3 talent strike. A little bit more damage on Sniper is going to be enough, and Team Liquid get the first kill in the 3v3. 100 Thieves are ready to respond with one of their own, but APA's made his way down, and River's out of the picture. Quid can't get anything back onto Yeon, and Team Liquid's going to come out on top in that one. 100 Thieves at least take the consolation prize of being the first team to 3, so they'll get the Feat of Warfare.
Yeah, they're going to get the Feat of Warfare, but still good things happening here for TL. Sniper, like you said, in that top lane had started to trade pretty evenly against Impact, but then he gets completely zoned off from that bot lane tower. APA gets a shutdown, which is massive, and he's been hitting a couple ultimates, which is giving that Stardust accelerated even more. We can watch this one more time as they just step forward very confidently, knowing that Umti is coming in behind him. Yes, Viktor is missing, but Azael matches the roam very effectively because of that W. You can get down here quite quick, and Sniper obviously flashing back out to safety, trying to get time for that ulti, but just does not survive. Quid arrives, trying to fight away from where APA is, but as he gets knocked up, you can see the chain CC there, hook into the Azael ulti, stuns him up, more backfighting.
Back into live, it's problems for Umti as River guarantees no way out, and FBI's taking the kill on it. Nicely done from Eyla and FBI, kind of talking about what Whippo was hinting at in draft. If Xayah and Rakan are next to each other, and Rakan gets you caught up in the quickness, there's no way to escape Xayah's damage, and it's easy for FBI to get another kill.
Yeah, exactly, and that was a needed kill, right? Because if you're going to swap the lanes and you're going to send your Ornn down towards bot and he gets fully zoned off the tower, well, then you need to be getting something out of it on the top side, because that is what you sacrificed for. You sacrificed to set up your Xayah for success, so they're able to get that payoff. 500 gold lead now for FBI. He's picked up the 2 kills, and he is feeling good.
You love to see it for 100 Thieves. They want to make sure that they can still have a chance to get the opportunity to go play in first stand, to go to Korea. Sniper didn't mean it as a sarcastic answer when he said quick 3-0. Now he doesn't want it to be a quick 3-0, because that would mean a Team Liquid win in this series, and they have just struggled so far. Game number 1 being the absolute wash, as Team Liquid never really struggled. Game number 2, the Thieves showed us they have what it takes. They were running the show for the first 18 minutes, but then they fumbled when it really came down to it, and TL fought their way back in. Now Core and Yeon versus Eyla and FBI up here on the top side. Eyla and FBI still thinking about the extended trade, but they got to be careful. Umti is also here. He's hanging around the grub pit, but you got to remember that River is always a threat here on the Pantheon. He does not have the Grand Starfall right now, but once that's available, any fight can quickly become a disadvantage for Team Liquid.
Yep. Got to be really careful about that. That's something Bobo was talking about as well. The ability to kind of put that pressure on the side lanes and have that reinforcement coming through, making things really tough. And expectation versus reality, I think, is such an interesting conversation for 100 Thieves. When we talk back to last year, the expectations were that this team was not really going to be top of the table. Maybe they could kind of improve throughout the year, but they improved so much quicker than people expected. They were able to make it all the way to Worlds against expectation, and I think the same thing is true this year as well. Coming into the beginning of the season, they had gotten so much better, but I still don't think people thought they were ready to be able to take down FlyQuest. They're able to do that, and this is a team that just is impressing me so much week after week, year after year with their growth.
Okay, 1v1 here in the bottom side. Not going a whole lot of places just yet, but it's 100 Thieves securing control over the top side. River in the meantime. They've got the first one of the grubs. Looks like they should be able to secure all 6 as Yeon and Core have to try to fall back up here on the top side. Core turning it back around a little bit there onto Eyla, who drops half of his HP. Umti not bothering to contest these grubs. That should be a full 6 for River and for 100 Thieves, as now APA is going to rotate up here a little bit. Looks like we might have the potential collapse coming out from TL, but it's too little, it's too late. FBI and Eyla can get away. The wind becomes lightning, but it's not fast enough. APA brings down the falling star. The skies descend with a full-on shockwave as Impact flashes away down in the bottom lane to escape Quid's roam to back up Sniper. Nobody dead on either side. Summoner spells being spent as Impact loses his flash after teleporting back down here. Quid now looking to finish off the kill. That second part of the laser combined with the Chaos Storm takes Impact low, but he's not dead here just yet. Sniper should be able to finish this. There's no way he lives, right? Quid guarantees.
Yeah, Sniper just didn't want to take the kill. He wanted to give it over to Quid, so that's why he's delaying there. But Impact was trying to cut the wave. We're back to live, and APA's in trouble.
This is a big problem for APA. The Aurelion Sol has no way out of these types of situations. It's another kill for 100 Thieves. 6-2, 1,500 gold ahead.
And Nate Shot co-streaming today. He's going to be happy about that. A couple big plays. 400 Thieves across the map. Yes, FBI had to spend his ulti up on top side, but it was for the empowered ultimate that APA had been building building towards for so long. Then they find this play on bot side. They get the kill, and they're able to donate it to Quid, which is so big for them. Quid has been such a star for the 100 Thieves team. Having him and FBI both set up for success is going to mean good things for the 5v5.
Now I'm curious what this next Drake fight is going to look like if we get a fight at all. The first one was secured by TL, and now it looks like the second one is once again going to go their way. A lot of resources were spent by 100 Thieves to get the advantages they did, to win the fights that they did. Only the quickness on Eyla really available in terms of ultimates right now, so they don't want to overextend for what's really just the second dragon of the game.
Yeah.
Not that big of a deal.
It's
Isaac,
Ocean
it's the
again.
third game in a row. It's an Ocean Sol.
I mean, even the bias is crazy. Another Ocean for Team Liquid? Come on, freak.
That is definitely some kind of omen. We'll see if it's good enough of one for 100 Thieves to keep the series going as River steps forward, finds a little bit of damage onto CoreJJ, and Umti's ready to try to reinforce him, but Umti jumps into his own demise. APA ready to back up the squad, needs more damage though. Ayla's not going to burn all the way down until Yeon flies in with the Acathian Rain to get the last bit of damage. CoreJJ with a dredge line to try to escape from Quid. Breath of Light from APA, slowing down the enemy mid laner. Quid gets his kill, but now he's got to try to get away. You don't want to make it a one-for-one trade just for the enemy support. Yeon wanted to get that last bit of damage. He uses his flash to try to do it, but it will not succeed. The cleanse to try to escape from River, but River gets another one. 100 Thieves are absolutely smacking Team Liquid around.
Yeah, they're going huge and up in topside.
Sniper keeping himself alive in the 1v1 against the Jax, and this is exactly what you were talking about. It's fine if he goes down a little bit. It's fine if he's down 15 farm and he's just making it even here in the trades. His only goal is to neutralize. The rest of the team's winning.
Exactly. The rest of the team is winning hard, so you do not need to play risky up here on the top side, playing Ornn and the Jax. Just farm, just don't die, keep him off the tower. That is your job. And Yeon there, I wonder if it was a situation where he flashed in to try to get auto Q, but then wasn't in range for the Q or something like that, because that looks weird to me. The flash for the one auto, he wasn't really that close to actually killing off Quid. It ends up costing him big time because APA decides, you know what, I got to stay around. I got to try to back up Yeon. They both get chased down. They both die. It's a double kill for River, and that really hurts TL's chances in this one. Big
early game from 100 Thieves, even more successful than the one we saw last game. In game number 2, I remember mentioning how 16 minutes into the game with the Herald spawning and 100 Thieves taking control of it, they were up 2,000 gold. Now here in game number 3, they're up 3,500. Nearly twice the lead, but now Quid is in some danger. CoreJJ and Yeon have found the pincer attack on him. Impact's ready to back it up there with a counter strike, and the shutdown gold goes over to the Jax. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves taking the tier 1 turret over in mid.
Yeah, and they got 6 grubs off the back of that too. So they have the feats of warfare. They get that tower mid. They're able to give even more gold to FBI. It was Jax who claimed the kill up on top side. So Yeon is going to be 1,000 gold down right now. Nearly a 2K lead. 1.7K for River is an enormous advantage. But there's going to be a lot of pressure on Impact to have that side lane pressure now because he has been gifted that kill. He's been farming heavily. I like that he's not just over grouping and kind of panicking and trying to help out the team. He needs to play for himself. He needs to be that threat in the side lane. Do things like, you know, get towards those towers, draw multiple members so you can get plays on the other side of the map. He needs to get a solo kill, you know, open up opportunities to then TP in and make something happen. Those are the kind of plays they really need from their Jax to try to claw their way back.
Sniper face checking into the brush here. Core, Yeon, and APA all waiting for him. Sniper making a lot of distance, trying to get away from this one, but APA has that full breath of light. He will never stop until he chooses to, but he gets stunned over the wall by River. Follow up from Eyla is beautiful, and 100 Thieves have already made it an even trade. It's about to be a bonus as Umti drops, and Quid gets the money. Now FBI needs even more. He flashes forward right onto Yeon, goes into the aggressive Featherstorm, and the Kaisa is all the way back underneath the tier 1 turret. CoreJJ has to Spider-Man away, and 100 Thieves are seriously in their groove now.
They absolutely are, but a big sidestep from Yeon keeps him alive there, and Impact is taking the tower in mid. They're going to try to trade back for even more because they have 6 grubs. They're charging the Herald down here in the bot side, and FBI might even drive it into the tier 2 to get all of the little Void Mites spawning up. They want to make sure they're continually trading up from this advantageous position.
And he even Grand Theft Auto runs over all the minions to guarantee the X extra gold from that, making sure he's maximizing that econ as FBI now hit by the ultimate from CoreJJ, but the depth charge doesn't matter a whole lot just yet. Impact needs to get something here. FBI with no ulti. Remember, he already used that and the flash so aggressively. The TP from Sniper was not it. He tries to jump in thinking maybe there's an angle, but that had to have been a miscommunication because FBI with no resources has no way to get out.
And here is the punish on that aggressive look that FBI had. He had been playing a picture-perfect game up to that point. Tries to go for the big play on Yeon with the flash, with the ulti committed, ends up getting nothing for it, and Liquid are the ones able to find an angle to get the shutdown. Sniper says, you know, I got to get in there, try to defend my carry, ends up giving over his life as well. It's still a very strong position here, 400 Thieves, but TL, they are moving towards Sol Point here, and that is going to be making things really tough for 100 Thieves because now it's one dragon away from your lead being completely eliminated, and Sniper can't get there, so they can't even contest.
So similarly to the first two games, all three of these now, we've had a sort of throw around the 19 or 20 minute mark. This time around, though, is kind of between the first two. Yeah. Game number 100 Thieves didn't get anything but the kills when they managed to punish Liquid. Game number 2, Liquid gets Sol Point and the Otacon after punishing Thieves, and now 100 Thieves, yes, they get caught out there. Yes, FBI's aggro gets punished a little bit, but it's still just the Drake. Otacon wasn't spawned yet, so 100 Thieves still with a very solid lead.
Look at this position here. He's trying to lay in wait. If they overcommit, Yeon could be in with the killer instinct, but they need the rest of the team to come down. They need a teleport from Impact. This is going to be a pivotal fight here. They're going to try to see if they can actually delay them and give Impact time to kill the tower, but I don't think they have it.
This might be the whole game right here. Impact still working on that tower. Gets his demolished proc. Yeon has stepped up. Now he's got to be careful, though. Sniper fires off the Ornn ulti. They get the flash into the Kaisa. The Otacon's already down to 40% HP. APA brings down the ulti, and Quid has already been killed. Impact into the back. Counter-strike ready. They're on top of Eyla. He's already down now, too. Team Liquid's killed, too. FBI's in danger. They need a little bit more damage to finish off the Xayah. They get him with a 3 Talon strike. Team Liquid, 4 for 1 as 100 Thieves collapse and their lead disappears.
You call it 4 for 1, I'm calling it 5 because that's an Otacon going the way of TL. Enormous fight down in the bot lane there as TL are able to find the angle. They tried to commit here to go in for Yeon, and they end up going a little bit too far. We can watch it one more time here. They're all looking for Yeon. He has a good flash on the redirect here from the Ornn ulti, and then look at the positioning from Core. They didn't know he was there. He locks down Quid. Quid gets CC'd 100-0. Ayla's trying to bail him out, but then he gets stuck in as well. Impact shows up. FBI does the very best he can, throws out the ulti, gets a multi-man route there, but Impact takes so long to go down. Yeon still has the killer instinct. He gets in, finishes off the carry. They take the Otacon, and now they have full control of this game and of this series. Look how pumped up the coaching staff is.
That was massive. 100 Thieves was still in such a good spot before that Otacon fight. They still had almost a 3,000 gold lead, but I love the fact that you pointed out CoreJJ before the fight. Him doing the unexpected choice of hanging around in that alcove for so long, of positioning himself in the brush, finding the angle where Quid just has to get whiplash, wondering where did he come from. By the time he already realizes it, he's dead.
Exactly. You know, Quid couldn't even get that flash off. It was just completely unexpected. He's not looking towards that. They're laser focused on taking down Yeon. And they thought they had the pick, but they were the ones getting pincered here, and Core now just trying to play between the lanes here, allow his lanes to push up on all 3 sides. You can see Impact shoving up bot, and we have the push coming in top from APA, and Umti maybe a little bit too far.
Umti gets chunked down to a third of his HP. Remember that the false life is still active for everybody on Team Liquid's side, and you can see the icon there next to APA's health bar. The skies are ready to descend. This is very problematic. When nobody on their team can die for real, and Aurelion Sol has a cheat code ultimate that hits the whole map, you got a problem if you're wearing a 100 Thieves jersey.
You really do. And I think for 100 Thieves, it's just turtle it up, save all your resources for the Ocean Soul. You cannot afford to give that over. And even if you're able to go in for a fight now, it's just going to be for the GAs. It's not really going to accomplish that much. So likewise for APA, I think you really want to avoid having any major skirmish so that you have your big ultimate ready for this pivotal fight. It can be a game changer. And I think it's a fight that 100 Thieves almost have to win or the series is done.
And it's another Ocean Soul. It's another one of these things that then proceeds to feel so suffocating, because like you talked about all the way back in the first game, it just would give Team Liquid infinite Baron poke. Start it up, dare your opponents to come answer you. If it doesn't work and you get smacked around a little bit, oh well, lean back against the ropes, take a breather, get right back into the ring and start swinging again.
Exactly, and that's what they're going to be looking for. You can already see TL is out on the map trying to set up their vision here, down here, where the game will be decided. Both teams are going to have a laser focus on this fight, knowing that it's all going to come down to this. The item completions we have to be tracking pretty even overall on both sides.
So important to note, Yeon's still without his flash. However, it's going to come up 6 seconds after the Drake spawns. That is a very important summoner spell timer. That's one that you know Team Liquid is going to want to wait that extra little bit of time on.
And Liquid are just trying to pull them apart across the map here. APA pushed in bot, so FBI is saying, do I go down and answer that? I guess I can't, so you're just going to have to bleed out that wave. Sniper is glued up towards the top side with Impact, and now they're trying to move in as they see the TL members answering the wave mid. They can move in, clear out some vision, and try to have the proper preparation for this fight.
All right, 100 Thieves with control over the bot side river. The Drake is alive. Team Liquid trying to put themselves in a spot where they're ready to contest it, but they have to be careful still. Also worth pointing out right now, the largest individual gold lead in the game is Impact. CoreJJ is up
Yeon.
in the top side.
And Yeon. They're going to look for a potential Baron sneak. I think they're just going to try a two-man Baron right now on spawn. They're going to be going for this, and this is not going to be on the mind of 100 Thieves at all.
Yes,
everyone's missing.
Yes, it was. They just blue trinketed it.
That's huge.
They just threw the Scryer's trinket into the Baron pit. They saw what Team Liquid was up to. They knew that this kind of a sneak is the type of thing that Team Liquid would go for. Meanwhile, they're leaving River on the Drake. He's going to attempt to take that one for himself, and so Team Liquid pulls the trigger. They want to go in on 100 Thieves. 3v3 in the mid lane is not going the way of Team Liquid. Now APA is coming in to try to fight. Dragon versus Dragon, going in after River. The skies descend. The Ocean Drake is already claimed by 100 Thieves, and River kills off APA. Team Liquid with a big counter strike on the 3 targets. FBI's up into the air, flashing away to try to survive, but Yeon's into the back landing with a killer instinct into the Acadian rain. Everybody's dying on 100 Thieves. They gotta be careful now. Team Liquid cutting them down. River looking to make the hero moment, but it will not happen. A quadra kill for Yeon. The Kaisa, when they need him most, shows up again.
What a fight out of him. APA going in here early, trying to just knock down River, but River's able to hop into the E, jumps over the wall, blocks a lot of this early damage, and then APA realizes, I am in trouble. River's able to take him out, but look at this from Impact. Talk about making a difference. Gets in the middle of all the Thieves, stuns him up. Yeon's in the back line. That is the go button, and that is TL taking the fight. That is TL taking the Baron, and that is Yeon showing that he is the best damn AD carry in the league.
Huge, huge stuff from Yeon and Impact in particular. The coaching staff absolutely ballistic for Team Liquid as they realize, oh my God, APA letting 100 Thieves know, embracing the Brazilian passion of taunting your opponents, not just in the chat, but in real life on the stage. 100 Thieves with the choke now in back-to-back games as Team Liquid has showed up again. They've turned the game around again. Damage dealt to champions in the last fight. It was actually River, who's had an amazing game on the Pantheon so far. But on the other side, I think Impact understood what you wanted to see from him.
Yeah.
He's been able to have so much impact on this Jax this game.
He absolutely has, and that was such a good fight from Impact, getting in the middle of everyone. Yeon there to follow it up. Even with FBI, you know, in that great spot from the early game, they're going to be wanting some of those early plays back.
All right, Impact could be in some danger. Sniper's got him slowed down, locked up for a little while.
They're going to lose their base. This is the problem. They're pushing in bot, they're pushing in mid, and they can't defend here. They're overcommitting. Yeah, 100 Thieves are full sending it after Impact. Yes, they are going to kill him. Jax cannot survive all the way through this. Mid lane, at least, the tier 3 turret's hanging on for now. Quid and Eyla have enough wave clear to keep that one going, but the tier 2 has collapsed down in the bottom lane. APA and Umti ready to force another wave into this tier 3 now, as the next wave is ready back in mid. They know there's not enough HP to defend it. Yeah. Yeah, and that's going to be really tough. I mean, if you can lose just the one tower for it, then maybe it starts to feel worthwhile. But I guess the other side of the coin is if you make the call, hey, we can't defend anyway, then just overcommit to one side. You know, send your extra members there, try to kill them off, and then regroup in base and hope you can make something happen here. They're going to look.
Oh, River wanted that grand starfall into APA, but he can use the Astral Flight to get away in time as River and Eyla are ready to move forward and retake their own jungle. Force Team Liquid back. TL cannot afford to continue their aggressive positioning when they're still down a man for the next 5 seconds.
Yep, going to be tough. 400 Thieves, you are up against it. It's a 6,000 gold lead nearly, and they're still on Sol point. So you have to fight that. You have to deny that, or I don't think you have a real chance in the game. Yeon, though, just taking away everything he can. He's level 16 as an AD carry here, up above both of the 100 Thieves Sol laners. They're going for a teleport, and they're caught.
They want to make the play on Quid. CoreJJ coming around with the depth charge. Impact splitting the aggro over onto FBI at the same time, and Xayah is first to die. APA is low, but isn't even going to matter. Stays alive with the breath of light as Quid drops next. Team Liquid have crushed 3 of them. That should just be the end of the game right there, right now. Every single analyst on the desk predicted a full 5 games one way or the other. Both teams looked ready to go at the start of the day, but Team Liquid is built different on the Nexus turrets now as Sniper and River scramble to try to defend, but a Pantheon alone will not do it. Team Liquid ace them again. They will clean sweep 100 Thieves out of this. They are your split 1 LTA winners, and they are going to first stand in Korea.
Don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years. The 3rd straight finals, 2 of them won by this squad. Battling back through adversity in this split, not having the start they wanted, not having the first week performance they wanted here in Sao Paulo. But boy, did they turn up in this 2nd week, winning the semis, sweeping the finals. This team came to play today.
And the fact that it wasn't even a full bulldozer performance. In 2 out of 3 of those games, they had to dig in, defend, and fight their way back. This is a squad that's ready to go. The confetti comes down, and the victorious roster gets to lift their Split 1 trophy for the LTA. There were so many doubts. You talked about it. The fact that they were the only squad that lost one of their games in the opening phase here of the cross-conference play in the South, but they made it through. They ended up triumphant over Cloud9, and now against 100 Thieves in the final with the clean sweep, they're the best team in the LTA.
They absolutely are. Now the North and the South can unite to cheer for Liquid as they are going to be heading on to take on the world, represent our regions, our league here, and do it well.
The team play we got to see from these guys, lots of impressive stuff.
You see that? The trophy is quite heavy. And Yeon goes, can I pick it up? And he does a little flex and then grabs it. He's like, yeah, I got this.
He's got it. CoreJJ just bathing in the confetti, in the glory, in what has to be a great feeling for TL after having so many questions about the squad throughout these first couple of weeks, throughout this first split. A lot of people are wondering, do they even have a shot? Can they actually walk away with it? And they did. They pulled it off. They came together. The improvement that we see between this iteration of Team Liquid and even from what we were just seeing a week, 2 weeks ago is really impressive.
It really is, and even just from what I was hearing this week from the teams as far as how practice was going, this is a team that really showed up, that came together when it mattered most, made it happen. They're the split